please step up to the television screen because we have traditional impatiens for you. Now, we talk a lot during Cottage Farms about the sun patiens, which are a hybridized impatient that likes sunshine. This is the impatient that likes to stay in the shade. Do not plant these in the sun. If you have a shady area of your garden where it's hard to grow stuff, they will love it there.
They will.
And also, if you have a shady garden that's full of everything that's green and no flowers, this is a perfect addition, right?
Yes, it is. This color and so radiant. And we call them Harmony Radiance because they do have this bright pink, these bright pink petals, but on the inside it looks like it's glowing almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These are the real flowers too, and I just have to show you how big these are. Look at the size of these blooms, and they are bright fuchsia pink and then light pink in the middle. They're almost like glow in the dark.
I know, and look at these little hearts as we come up on Valentine's Day. Look at these little heart-shaped
petals.
They're so
sweet.
cute. So like you said, these are actually bigger blooms than you may have gotten on your traditional impatiens. And don't worry, if you've grown impatiens before and they didn't do well for you, they did have a disease problem, but these are going to be disease-resistant impatiens. So they will not get the disease that you may have heard of that impatiens get.
Also sturdier stems, bigger flowers, not wilty. I mean, sometimes shade plants can be a little iffy. I think you're going to find these are really hardy. These are an annual, so you will need to redo these next year. But the good thing about an annual is you get your full size, your full big bang in that first summer.
Yes, well, speaking of, so let's talk about what you get, because you do think this is what they're going to grow in the first season. So these are annuals. So by 4th of July, they're going to be full size. So this is what you get. You get 4 of this, and then it looks like a smaller plant, but don't worry, because in 4 to 6 weeks.
Here we come, because it's against your green shirt, so I'm ready to see it. Okay, no, that's okay. You're fine there. You're fine. So this is what comes in the box.
Yes.
Right?
And you get 4 of these, and then in 4 to 6 weeks,
this is in 1 month or so.
Yes.
One month, and down here in these pots,
in another 2 to 4 weeks, they're fully grown in 8 weeks.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Fully grown.
So you can put these in pots, but picture these in your shade garden. Just plant them in the ground amongst all the green things, and you're going to get these beautiful pops of pink in the shade.
Yeah,
I love that.
I often think sometimes under a tree is a really hard place to plant, or on the other side of a fence. I have a fence that on one side of it gets shade, sun all day long. The other side, it's all shade. But that's the side on my driveway where all the people driving up see it, and I need color there. And these can live in wet soil, they can live in dry soil. I mean, they do like to be watered, but they don't need as much water as your sun patiens because they are in the shade. And so these are going to give you that long bloom power. So they'll bloom from summer, early summer, all the way through to a frost. I mean, these are going to last maybe through 1 frost. So you'll get this mass amount of color, this bright, bold color.
I can't get over the size. I wish we had some like puny store-bought ones out here, but look how big this bloom is. It's ginormous. So here we go. Look at the size of that.
I know, and you really see the differentiation in color there. So you'll see how they'll almost glow when they're in the shade.
Yeah.
So I love these, and they do need to be fertilized. So we do have that bud and flower booster that will work for all 3 of the plants that you saw today.
These are so pretty. They do look like beautiful little Valentine hearts with shades of pink and a little white center. And you're going to get tons of blooms. The other thing about these is they are an annual, but they're constantly blooming in different stages. So once they start, you're going to have some that are open full, some that are almost there, some that are little buds peeking out ready to go. So they're always in some kind of a process of blooming. Do I need to deadhead these at all?
No, I was just going to say, so besides the watering and maybe some fertilizer if you want to, you don't need to deadhead them. So deadheading is the process of taking off the spent flowers, but you don't need to do that with these because the blooms will continue to come up and cover up those spent flowers. No care needed unless you want to go out and sit in the shade in your garden. Then you can, maybe pick a few and put them in a bud vase. I think that would be really pretty.
So again, these are impatiens. These are not the sun patiens that we show you in the big vats on the ground. These are going to get to this size that we're showing right here this summer, and they stay in the shade.
Correct.
The sun patiens, you're going to put those in the sun, and we will have more varieties of those coming throughout the season from Cottage Farms. But a lot of you have written to us and said, I need more things for the shade. I have some parts of my yard that are totally in the shade, and most plants will not grow there very well at all. Everything that I have there is just green. Is there some such thing as a shade-loving, bright-colored flower. Here it is.
Yeah, this does look great planted among the hosta. It gets to be about 12 inches tall and wide. And so if you do have hosta growing in your shade garden, you know, this will look great planted amongst those big leaves of your hosta. The foliage on this is really pretty too. It's really dark green. Yes, and that's why you couldn't see it up against my shirt. And the stems are even a little pink on this. So it's got a lot of interest. It's got a lot of color, full impact. It's going to be blooming from summer all the way through frost, loaded with blooms, and it will just not stop.
So don't forget to get your button bloom booster fertilizer. They will love it. And don't throw away your garden guide, because that'll tell you all the instructions on watering and how far apart to plant them and all of that stuff. And here's when you can expect yours.
Yes, so these will ship, if you take a look at the map, match with color of where you live to the color below. And the date next to that is when most of our plants ship, but we consider these tender, so they will actually ship 2 weeks later than that date, just so you know.
Good to know. And here is your guarantee.
Yes, so of course we're not happy if you aren't, so we warrant perennials for a year and annuals such as these Impatiens